I'm not going to compare myself to Myles Garrett.
I mean, in terms of just like that never-ending motor, just always going, that kind of thing.
He's a guy that I got hella respect for. When you turn on that tape, it just sucks that we got to play him this weekend, but I'm a fan of his game. When you're talking about a dominant player, no matter when you turn on the tape, I mean, he could have easily said, I make too much money to be out there on this field. With two rookie quarterbacks, we don't really know where we're going right now with the franchise, and I don't really know what's going on in that building, but, I mean, in a kind of similar situation as us right now. And when you turn on the tape and you turn on games on Sundays and stuff like that, you're like, what the hell? Like, this guy's unreal. And it's been like that. And like I said, huge fan of Mal. You know, I done had conversation with him, you know, when I've been around with him at the Pro Bowl, and, you know, even for the honors last year, rode the same bus, had a conversation with him. But, man, he's a hell of a player. So, yeah, just that nonstop mentality that he have is I mean, look at the guys, look at their defense. You know, it sucks to see Malik Collins and them guys go down. You know, it's contagious, and that's the type of energy that you wanted to see your teammates feed off of. That no matter what the circumstance of your team, you're gonna go out there and fight to the end.
Everybody's got an opinion about Shedeur. When you watch him on film, what do you see?
I mean, we know first off, I mean, the way this offense is going to be ran, they try to run the ball. They try to establish the running game. We can talk about Shedeur, but their running back they have is legit. They got a legit running back. And then it's going to be, I feel like this is going to be one of them games where they try to get Shedeur on the edges. You know, when you let him out the pocket, you know, do what any other quarterback do, extend plays and throw the ball downfield. We have to keep him in the well. We have to stop the run first, but we have to make sure we keep him in the pocket. And just go back to rushing 4-1. You know, like a couple of games in the past where we didn't let quarterback get out of the pocket. You know, just one of the games where Shedeur looked to drift. He looked to drift and get on the edges of the defense. They run a lot of boots and stuff in that nature to help him out in the pass game. So we got to be ready to first, like I said, stop the run, but handle the boots game and stuff in that nature. And then, you know, once you stop a team from running the ball, that's when you get them to the drop back, and that's when we talk about the 4-1 and make sure we're on the same page to keep them in the pocket.
The fans who are craving another number one pick because of the talent it could bring underestimate the value of what a win or some wins could do for the young guys on this team and for the spirit, for lack of a better word, for you guys.
I can tell you, no one in this building talking about the number one pick. I mean, that's outside noise. And we try to block outside noise out. No matter if we was winning or right now we're in a situation where we're at a point where right now we trying to find out how to win another game and win number 2 of the season. And, you know, we're going up there with the mindset that we're going to beat Cleveland Brown. We're trying to go 5-0 the rest of this year.
What's the value of that for you guys?
Man, the value is winning a football game and going out there to put what we want on tape to younger guys, older guys. When they coming into this building next year, we want them to see when they turn on the tape. And from when we go back when we do a lot of reflecting, it's like the off-season program. When you come in for volunteer, like the OTAs and stuff, you want to, when we going through that film, you're like, this is our standard. That's the type of film we want to go put out there. So I would say the value, no matter if it's who it is, no matter if it's a high pick, number one pick overall, or the 19th pick. I mean, at the end of the day, the standard is going to be the standard, and that's what we talking about. That's what we talked about today. What we want to be, what we want to put out there going into this offseason and going into next season. So haven't expressed nothing about the number one overall pick. I'm expressing winning. That's the only thing that's on my mind. That's the only thing that we expressing to these guys in the locker room to go out there and get a win.
Jeff, you mentioned the Browns being in a somewhat similar situation to you guys. How do you view, knowing Cam, the task of navigating adversity as a rookie quarterback with a lot of expectation, and clearly Shedeur's in a somewhat similar boat over there?
I mean, I don't really care about Shedeur right now. You know, my job is to have my quarterback back. I think we can help Cam out. When you look around and you look at all stats on defense, I mean, we haven't had nothing but one strip sack all year. It's like, how can we get Cam in better position? You know, we can always say the offense, and defense this day. But how can we, when I go back in the frustration when we talk about complementary football, and the offense didn't have a good day. You guys going through, and that doesn't matter. It's like yes, we're going through it now, but how many turnovers we have had in these last couple of games to put the offense in good field position. That's what other teams doing. When they play us, I mean, got a strip sack, and they're in good field position. And also, like, the penalties, how can we stop getting penalty to put Cam back on the field? Because, I mean, it was third down. Was getting ready to get off the field. Now we're back on the field. We got to stop on third down. Now we go rough the punter. So just things that we have to be able to clean up as a team to be able to help Cam out. And myself and all these guys in this locker room, we do a hell of a job of having Cam back. It's things that you guys don't see on a day-to-day basis that, we have conversation with Cam. I have conversation with Cam that, and I tell him right before the game starts, every time on the sideline, be you. You don't have to do nothing spectacular. We got your back. Things haven't been where we want them at this season, but we got 5 more, and we know Cam is going to be our quarterback in the future. So what do he want the rest of the guys, especially we have such a young team, the guys that may come in free agent, that think about coming to Tennessee, the guy we draft, what do you want them to see about Cam? What do you want to see about the Tennessee Titans? The way we finish this season, that's going to dictate that. So it's our job and my job, especially being the leader on this team, to continue to have Cam back, and that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, it's a big conversation for sure. We're talking about it, and you have to plan for someone like that because he's different, man. So it's definitely going to be accounted for and do everything we can, and yeah.
He seems like one of to have the traits of all the good pass rushers in terms that they can throw a changeup on you, they can power, speed, that kind of thing. He can beat double teams. What makes him so good, I guess?
I think you just kind of he's got everything, man. I mean, he's got all the traits. He's got size, speed, strength. He basically teleported 4 yards in that sack he had last week. So it's just superhuman. I think I said on Monday, I think he's 1 of 1. And I stand by that, man. I think he's a difference maker. So he's got all the tools. He's the best in the league, in my opinion. So yeah.
How about their defense as a whole? What did they do well?
Yeah, I mean they do a lot well. I think Schwartz coaching them really well. They're really fast and aggressive. They play downhill. They don't give you much, and they want to get after you, and they want to get after the quarterback. I think their stats kind of show for themselves, and they haven't been winning games, but their defense has been keeping them in games really. And doing a great job at all 3 levels. I think the linebackers are playing really well. The interior still playing really well, and DBs, play well and run support and cover well. So it's a great defense. It's a tremendous challenge for us.
Pete, for you guys, the run game hasn't been what you wanted to be all year long, but it felt like the last game you were at least making progress. What can you kind of build off of from last week?
Yeah, I think we have to build consistency. I think we've shown we can do it. We've got to be able to commit to it and then execute on a regular basis and consistently. So it's getting those calls in more and then building, the confidence with more run calls by executing those calls. And so there's nothing than anything unbelievable, anything anyone's got to do. It's just our job and executing, 11 is 1.
What was the working dynamic with you, with Corey, having him in there for Lloyd last week? I know you guys got some reps, obviously, this offseason.
Yeah, Corey's a pro. He was, with us all camp as, the first center while Lloyd was still getting back. So, honestly, I don't really feel like we skipped the beat. That's a testament to Corey and his professionalism and how he prepares. But he's always locked in our game plan. He prepares like a starter. I thought he did a great job, and it felt seamless to me. He did a great job.
He can pretty much do everything. Trent's Hall of Famer, one of the best to ever do it. And you see he cleared 4 yards on an inside move off of 1 step. So you just don't see that type of explosion out of a D lineman, especially someone 6'5", 270, 275. And then his bend around the edge, speed up the field, great use of hands, collapse in the pocket. Even if he's not getting the sack, he's creating chaos. So just very versatile, explosive, strong. If you get your hands on him, he can still throw you by. So it's not really a weakness in his game.
JC, mentally, how do you approach? I know you have pride, and I know you feel like you can win, but how do you approach going against somebody like that mentally?
Yeah, you assess every single play you go against them, and you have to treat it like, it's the biggest play of the game. For them, one sack is a good game. Obviously, for him, it's pretty easy to get a sack. Obviously, he's having games where he has 3 to 4. So the mentality is just to look to dominate every single play.
Are you staying with your guy long enough? It seems like sometimes you win initially, and the play maybe seems over, and then your guys doing some damage on the back end of a play that maybe Cam extends?
Yeah, that's definitely something that I especially need to do a better job at, just training to finish. Cam's growth as a quarterback, looking to extend plays, especially. I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago after the Houston game, or the Seattle game. Just make sure you sustain blocks, straight to finish, because you never know what's going on behind you. So, as a player, I have to grow with that.
JC, when it comes to Cam, and I guess for the sake of the comparison to Shador as well, how do you view their task of navigating adversity, and just both coming in with so many expectations, and you were recently a rookie yourself, but how do you kind of view it from their position?
Yeah, I don't really play quarterback.
Right.
But I know there's a lot that goes that's on their plate, especially being as young as they are, and in franchises such as that, both franchises are looking to assert ourselves and looking to improve and, gain some momentum, whatever we're doing, and, basically handle the keys to the team. So as a rookie quarterback, I would assume that's extremely hard to do. Some guys walk into great situations, and some guys are like us are walking into situations that, they want them to build and be the cornerstone of it. So
Yeah, you said it, his motor, his technique, his twitch, his power, his bend. I mean, he checks all the boxes. If not, he's one of the best to ever do it. So, like I said, we got our hands full, but it's going to be a real tough test for us. Good challenge. We'll see where we're at.
How important is it to try to get a win somewhere along the way before this thing is over with, just for the sake of morale and the sake of confidence?
Yeah, all it takes is one. You can't win the rest without winning this one. So, that's a pretty big focal point in this building right now. But even going into next year, just getting some wins at the end of this season could help catapult that confidence into next season.
Gunnar, sorry if you were asked anything like this, but when it comes to Cam, and I'm going to kind of group in Shador for the sake of comparison, how do you view the task, and you're kind of in a similar boat, of just handling adversity as a rookie, and obviously the expectations specifically those two have?
Yeah, things are going to happen. I feel like people ask me all the time, what was the hardest adjustment in the National Football League? And, I think about guys like Cam. I said, one of the hardest things was just learning a new playbook, new scheme. I was learning one or two positions at the most. Cam was learning everything. He was learning how to side adjust protections and check runs and safety rotations and different things like that. So, I think both of those guys, just their will and their football IQ really sets them apart. I mean, if not, they wouldn't be starting quarterbacks at a young age in the National Football League.